straightforward. And it's really going to be power. About 140 knots will be the rotate speed. Okay.
So we're going to rudder pedals. So
yep. So the stick will actually steer on the ground. So left and right stick.
Right.
What I actually get you to do, just have a feel for how much play you have in the stick. So how much like movement in the stick you've got, and its full extents. You've got quite a lot.
Right. It's leg to leg. Yeah.
It's pretty much leg to leg.
Yeah.
And it comes right back into your chest.
Yeah.
So you've got quite a lot. So the takeoff, you'll pull it back probably about halfway.
Right.
Okay. As soon as you start to recognise the aircraft getting airborne, you'll bring the stick back to the neutral position. That's going to hold the jet in that attitude.
Yep.
Trim itself to hold that attitude. That's where you can now then look inside and get the bearing flap up.
Yep.
Okay. Right. Let's go.
Okay. So you said full power.
Yep. Full power. Just straight to full.
There's no lock on the throttle.
There's no lock on the throttle. Just send it.
Okay. Here we go.
There's 100 knots.
What's that takeoff speed?
140, so start pulling back the stick now. Alright, and back to neutral, and let's get that gear and flap up straight away. Good, and gear. Magic. You're going to notice that this thing's very touchy.
Shit. Oh, yeah.
Yep, so pull back on that stick for me. You're going to notice that it's very touchy and roll compared to pitch.
Yep.
And that's normal behaviour. But just so that you're aware. So we'll climb away and we're going to head towards Brisbane. So as we pass about 1,000 feet, give ourselves enough height, we'll start a right hand turn and we're going to track towards Brisbane.
Where's my altitude?
Your altitude is in the right hand box on the heads up display.
Okay.
It's now at 1200.
1200.
So let's flick it round to the right. Give it a good bit of angle bang. Just due to the speed we're travelling, a little bit more even. Yeah. That alarm sound is just the middle marker for the ambient ILS. It sounds a lot more. It sounds a lot worse than it actually is. It's got a little bit steeper angle back for me, so a little bit more to the right. Keep it going. Do like 45 to 50 degrees angle bank if we can, and just pull back on that stick to keep climbing. Steeper on the turn, and I just want you to observe, so even steeper, let's go like towards 60-ish degrees angle bank, so even more than that, and you can really now observe that nose drop.
Yes.
Okay, and correcting that the same way that you correct it in any other aeroplane is just enough backstick to
Stop one. Yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah, you go too much and you'll spiral right over.
Pretty much.
Big old victory roll straight into the ground.
Victory roll fire right.
A high speed arrival.
Not the landing we want, because we want to use the plane again. Alright, so we keep the turn going. Even if you want to go a little bit steeper and start a little bit harder, you'll know that the aircraft is going to turn around the corner faster. So we can really yank this thing around if we want to. It's a very hard machine to break. So we're pretty much over the northern suburbs area now. We'll start to see Brisbane City coming in here, a little bit of turbulence there.
I was going to say, I was looking for a rudder.
Alright, can you see at the far top right of the screen, you can see Brisbane City?
The dark thing there?
Yeah, yeah, that's Brisbane City. So I want you to point the jet towards that.
Okay.
And that's going to be our playground for the next few minutes.
Okay.
So just so you can get your bearings, we're to the north of Brisbane City at the moment. You'll see pretty much off to the far right is your Mount Coot sort of area. Off to the left will be Brisbane Airport and Northwood Bay. And then down to the south, the patch of National Park that's just up this neck of the woods, that's your Toohey State Forest.
Right, yep.
And then out here is kind of your Mount Colton kind of area.
Yep, bayside area, yep.
Yep. So that's where we are at the moment. We're on the north side. Just so you get your bearings. At this point in time, I want you to spend the next few minutes really starting to fly this thing like it was designed. So start pulling some G's, start rolling, start looping, and just get a feel for what the aircraft will do with a certain deflection of the stick. So really start to explore experiment with the aircraft, get a feel for things, so that then we can start flying this thing a lot more dynamically as we get low level. So this is your chance to really hammer it in. I'll watch how you're flying it. If I need to fix up, I don't think there will be. If there's anything I need to fix up, will. But at this point, really start to explore the limits of this aircraft. And trust me, you can operate it.
I feel like I'm going to fall out.
Good. Jesus. This is what I love to see.
Sleeman Sports Complex.
Yeah, no, you do. So yeah, everything's imagery, like I said,
Yeah.
it's imagery based, so whatever you see on the ground is going to be exactly where it is for real.
Yeah, I'm sort of lost though.
You're pretty much tracking towards, that'll be a Stapleton Logan area. The other thing is we're going 600 knots, right? So
Yes.
you'll be getting straight far from home pretty quick.
Yeah.
So that looks like the interchange of the gateway and the Logan, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, now this will be the M1 northbound that we're flying over at the moment.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's you can't quite make it out, but that's Garden City down there.
All right. Yeah. Yep. Tax office is there somewhere. Let's drop one on that.
You drop one of those guys.
Did I do a loop already?
You haven't done one yet. But what we'll need to see is we're going to need a little bit more altitude just to be able to get the loop sorted out.
Pull out. Yeah.
Yep. So climb at about 10 degrees nose up, and then once we hit about 3,000 to 4,000 feet, you'll be able to start pulling back.
You know what?
To get the loop in.
I've completely lost track of the altitude.
Don't worry, we're 222. I haven't. At the end of the day, it's all visual, right? So I don't care about how fast we're going and how high we are. I just know that from experience, generally,
Yeah.
above 3,000 for the loop, get you where you need to go. So you
Yeah.
can start pulling back now.
So it's a full back stick or?
Not full back
No.
stick, so smooth application of back stick
Yep.
to about probably 3/4 of the way.
Okay.
It's all going to be based on the rate that we're going, so it's going
Yeah.
to do it by feel. So I'll guide you through it, so start pulling back.
Are we wings level?
Yep, we're wings level. Okay, a little bit more. A little bit more. Alright, I think that's a good start. So there's about 4G. Pull back a little bit harder, and we are in a turn at the moment. So we're going to find that once we come out of the loop, as you pass through the horizon, you will need to correct.
Yep.
Probably some left stick, and then just keep pulling through. Yep, good. And neutralize and keep pulling straight back towards you. A little bit harder now because
Coming out of the bottom.
coming out of the bottom.
Should be throttling out. But...
No, you don't need to in this.
No, but I should be.
There we go. Lovely. Lovely. We've already found our way back to the north side again.
That felt like it started to almost, I don't know what you'd call it, almost like the tailplane stalling or something, like it was falling out of the bottom of the loop.
It will feel that. It will feel like that because of the increase of the angle of attack. Because
Uh-huh.
this thing can fly at stupid angles.
Yes.
So it will kind of feel like you're almost falling, but there'll be enough thrust and full power that you'll be able to break away from it quite quickly.
Yeah.
If we pull the power back and you started pulling, the rate that the aircraft is going to slow down, we would actually put ourselves into a falling leaf situation.
Yeah.
That's why we keep that power up. What I want you to do now is go find Brisbane City again. We're going to head down low level towards Gold Coast. This is where I'm going to start yapping a lot. So we're going to simulate this as best as we possibly can. Okay, there's Brisbane. What we are going to do is we're going to follow the M1 southbound. Okay, so we'll follow the freeway. You need to keep it to the left or the right of the aeroplane. If you're directly over it, you probably won't see it particularly well. The way that we're going to find it first is we're going to go big picture to small picture. We're going to have a look around us. We know that we're coming in towards the city from the northeast sort of area.
Yep.
If we find the Gabba, you'll find the freeway. So the Gabba is going to start paging in. The other thing that you can look for from this angle, have a look at Toohey State Forest. You can see
Yes.
the freeway cuts straight through, right?
Yep.
So we know that we can pick up the M1 and we can trace it back to about this position here.
Uh-huh.
It's a little bit hard to see, but there's the gabber just down there.
I think I can see the M1 there.
Yep, so that's what we're going to pick up. So there's our gabber, and then there's the M1 running through where the mouse cursor is. Let's get nice and low if we can as well. And once we've got that positively identified, you can really start to bank it around and pull, just to keep visual with it. Let's try and get a little bit lower, so we'll start to lower that nose. And let's go back to big picture for a second, so let's make sure we are actually pointing and we're following the M1 in the right direction. First things first, you've got the mountain range out in front of you, that's Mount Tamborine, and that's the area.
Yep.
At Canungra, if you keep that to the right of the nose, and you keep all of this paddock area, Jacob's Well, that sort of neck of the woods out to the left, you know you're going to be pointing in the right direction. There's the intersection of the Gateway and the M1 down there. We're just heading into the Stapleton area now, so we know we are tracking in the right direction now.
My place is just down there somewhere.
Oh, lovely. Very good. So we would have pretty much flown straight over the top. You would have heard it. We're at full burner.
Yeah.
You've got, down here, you've got Mount Stapleton, which is where the Brisbane weather radar is.
Yes, well my place, I can see the radar from my place. So.
Oh, how good. That's awesome. So that's, so that's the radar down there.
So that's going to be the Logan Hyperdome just here on the on the left.
That's your Hyperdome, really good. Now at this point, we're at only 1,600 feet and we're doing 600 knots. So there's a few things that we need to consider. We already should really be looking out the vicinity of the Gold Coast to have a look at things like weather. So how's the weather looking at the moment?
It looks good.
It's a pretty good day.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's a very nice day for flying, isn't it? So weather's not really a factor, visibility is not a factor. The other thing we need to consider at about 1,500 feet is that aircraft tracking northbound from the Gold Coast for Judge Field is going to be at 1,500 feet.
There's a model aircraft field right below us.
Yep, so let's try not to hit any more.
They have a 400-foot ceiling there.
Yeah, that makes sense because 500 is the lowest you'll go in the fixed wings.
Yes.
And that's something that we actually genuinely have to consider doing this route. We need to think about other traffic.
Yes.
In the real world, there'd be other aircraft in the sky.
Well, I mean, Logan Hospital's just over there with a helipad on top of it too. So.
Correct. So there's all the traffic considerations that we make.
Yep.
Can you think, as we get lower towards the ground, can you think of any other things that might actually get in the aircraft's way?
Lower towards the ground.
Yeah, so as we get closer to the ground.
I mean, obviously power lines and that sort of stuff.
Correct.
We're not getting that close.
Oh, we can if we want to.
No, that's not.
So see how the motorway is now sweeping around to the left?
Yes.
As it sweeps around to the left, and then once you point jet towards these apartments at Runaway Bay. So yeah, the big thing you've got to consider is that anything under 360 feet in terms of its elevation doesn't have to be charted on a map. So you can have anything like a crane, power line, TV tower, anything under 360 feet.
Idiots with drones.
Idiots with drones as well. So these are all the things that you've got to consider when you do all low level stuff. So let's keep pointing that aircraft towards Runaway Bay. From there, because we're only about 30 seconds away from there, despite how far away it looks, we're then going to track southbound along the water along the beach surface. So what you're going to see two coastlines. You're going to see the Southport Spit, and then you'll see the actual beach. We obviously want to track the actual beach, but if we start to turn directly over the beach, we're going to overshoot. So you've got to judge, and then we're going to try and line the aircraft up beach southbound, and I want you to start getting lower. Like we're going to look at trying to be underneath, or well and truly underneath the top of Q1. So there's Runaway Bay down there, coming in Southport on your right, and you'll be judging this turn to hit that beach. So try and keep your head nice and still as well, and nice and centered. Alright, a little bit more angle of bank and a little bit more pull is what you're going to need to get this turn sorted. And perfect. All we're going to do from this point on is sort out the beach line. So I just want you to fly as closely as you can to that waterline. Judging this southbound. So here's Raw Beach Surfers Paradise. You can see Q1 out there. We're now 900 feet, 800 feet. Perfect. Now this run down Cooling Gap is probably only going to take about 50 seconds or so. It does not take very long when you go on this quick. Next thing we've got to look at is Burley Heads. There is the headland there, which is higher than what we are now. So we want to miss the headland to the left of it. And the beach pretty much picks up immediately from the heads. So it's not so much a point as it is, you can see that beach continues to quite straight. Try and keep that nose down if we can. We're going to follow the beach all the way around down to Point Danger and Coolangatta, and then flick it around and cool. Really trying to work nice and hard to keep the jet as low as we possibly can. right-hand turn to keep following that coast to the south. So you'll put quite a lot of stick deflection. Then once you start to recognise the coast drop, you'll correct it by pulling back quite a way and pull a good few G as we come around this corner. Good. So keep pulling, keep pulling. A little bit more angle of bank, a bit more pull. Really get this thing around the corner if you want to. Lovely. Pick up that point out there, which fantastic. Should be Kingscliff, I think.
Love Kingscliff.
Great part of the world, isn't it?
Oh, it's a little touristy now, but yeah, when I was younger, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. This whole part of the world's quite nice.
Yeah.
So this is the so for Gold Coast Airport, all the bug smashers out there where I used to teach and all that, this is our training area. So we were coming up through these beaches at 500 feet all the time, and the view was just outrageous. So many sharks. You can see all the sharks and the whales and all the sea life out there, and obviously you've got the scenic route. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to fly. Alright, I just want you to keep following the beach southbound. We're going to head down to Cape Byron. Once we get to Cape Byron, that's when we're going to climb up and start talking some underground stuff. So I'll leave with you for now. It's going to go to
Okay.
slightly inland, that'd be fantastic. That would position it really well for Evans Head. Good stuff. Alright. As we climb up above the clouds here, we'll punch straight through this one because flying through clouds is really nice. We're going to start talking about how to actually engage this aircraft and do what it was designed to do. We're going to start with air to ground first, and we'll migrate to air to air. So the way that we demo it with air to ground is we use what's called waypoint designation, which allows you to navigate to basically a waypoint or steering point, designate that steering point as a target. Okay. Now in the real world you can refine it with all the looking for it and all that sort of stuff, but from a basic point of view, right now, if you have a look at your map display, you're going to see a circle with the number 1 in it. Just here, that's Evans Head Aerodrome. Okay, so that's the ARP for the Evans Head. Right now, all that is a steer point. There's nothing else. If I put in the sequence, you can see it's just drawing a straight line back to Amberley. Okay, it's just a flat plane. What I'm going to then do is turn this into a target. So I'm going to press the magic waypoint designate button on the bottom right of the screen, and you're going to see that one now turns into a target diamond. So now we have a target. And we can also verify that in the heads-up display by saying we've got 14 miles TGT, which is target, which is just in that bottom corner. To actually engage and use the weapons, the only real thing that we have to do in the cockpit is arm everything wing and set our master mode to air to ground. So to do that, on the far left hand side of the main panel, forward panel, you're going to see a big switch that says master arm.
Yes.
I want you to flick that to the arm position for me. There's two buttons above it. One says AG, one says AA.
Yes.
If we want air to ground, which one are we going to press?
AG.
Yeah, exactly. Simple. So now we have air to air master mode engaged, and you have a look at your stores page, which is what I brought up on the screen on the left hand side here. We now have arm.
Yep.
Everything's ready to go. This page here is just telling us what's bolted to the jet. Okay, we've got the left wing and the right wing. Currently, we've got a sidewinder on the left wing tip. We've got a Mark 82 X-ray, which is a GPS guided bomb on the internal, about halfway up the wing. We've got two external fuel tanks. We've got a forward-looking infrared, laser target designate range, and then the same on the right wing. Nice and symmetrical.
We're missing our target.
That's all right. We're going to fly away and then we'll fly back.
Okay.
So we actually need to figure out a way to select the weapons. Now to do that, everything from here on is on the stick.
Yep.
Okay. So where your thumb is right now, that ridged stick is your weapon select switch.
Right.
If you move that to the right. Okay, you're going to see that now we have on the right hand side of that display, we've got gun boxed, and you'll see that there's some symbology in the heads up display. It looks like a reticle. So that's our gun. Okay.
Right.
We want Mark 82 bomb. So let's go to the right again. And now we've got a lot of stuff that popped up on that stores page, but the thing that we really want to see is this box around the weapon, and a ready and a receive. Okay, that means that our bombs are ready to go.
Right.
This one that's boxed is going to be the first to go. It's going to automatically jump to the next one, so that we can release two in sequence. We don't have to retarget; it will automatically jump for us. We need to bring the power back to about halfway, just to keep our speed under control. And how far away are we from the target at the moment?
9.7.
Yep, perfect. 10 miles. At the 10 mile mark, let's turn around and track back towards the target and try and keep the turn nice and level if we can. What you're going to start to see as you come around the corner, you're going to see a flashing line, probably in the top right of the heads-up display. That's going to turn solid, and that is what we call the azimuth guidance line. That is the target line that's going to take us directly overhead, and the jet is going to calculate where we need to steer in order to release. The other thing it's going to automatically do is jump into a release timer, because this mode, the computer is going to calculate the release point for us to actually release the weapon. We're not doing any of the math. We are doing basically what the jet tells us to do. The only other thing that we need to do to get ready for the release, if you have a look at the top row of buttons on the stick, there's a red one. That little one, which will be pretty much where your right thumb is your air to ground weapons release. Right. Just pull back a little bit on the stick, turn around a little bit faster if we can. Really start to get this turn going. Good. That's looking nice.
Yeah, it must have been 2,000 feet, 3,000 feet, something like that.
That's right, the nose is coming up, so that's okay. Pull back a little bit harder. Pull back on the stick just fractionally harder. Let's try and get that nose up as well. Good. Keep pulling back nice and hard, man. Really start ripping around. Descending quite a lot, but that's okay, we're correct. Alright, roll wings level. You see that vertical line? You got to follow that in the heads-up display. So pull back on the stick. Good. Keep pulling back until we're back at the horizon again. And now you just fly slightly left, and you're going to follow this big line in the heads-up display. That's your azimuth guidance line. Right. The other thing that we have in there is a countdown timer, which is the calculator.
So we want to try and get that vertical in the center of the screen, is that what you're saying?
Yep, your little aeroplane symbol's got to be on that line, so you're pretty much perfect at the moment. We've only got 30 seconds to release. There is a release countdown timer just above the target distance. And I want your thumb now to be hovering. Yep, good. The sequence, it's going to be 3, 2, 1, 0, click. Okay?
Okay.
And we're going to, as we release the weapons, we're going to be looking at the stores page to verify that the bomb has left the jet. Okay? And we're going to drop 2. So A, you can see a horizontal line of heads-up display coming down now. When that lines up with our little aircraft, you should be good to click. So, click, and one more. Alright, have a look at the stores page now. We've got zeros,
Yep.
0 and 0. Both have gone off the jet.
Oh.
In your heads-up display, you've got this guy here now flashing LTD/R,
Yep.
which is your laser target designate range. So the laser is now assisting in the guidance of the bomb, and it's also telling us how long it is until the bomb's hit the ground, which is 14 seconds.
Right.
And that's why we have the LTD on the jet at the moment.
Yep.
That helps us. And it's that easy, a couple of button clicks.
Wow.
So all we have to do is confirm that we're travelling in the right direction,
Okay.
we're at a sensible altitude, and then at the end of the day, you are deciding whether that bomb comes off the jet or not.
Yep.
Like we were saying before we started today.
Okay. Did we hit our target?
We would have, yeah.
Yep.
We released it pretty much exactly on point and exactly on line. The laser is going to do the rest. And obviously the GPS guidance on the bomb itself, the bomb has fins, so it can kind of change its trajectory where it needs to a little bit, give it enough height, and pretty much definitely hit. So let's turn over the water, and we're going to switch to air-to-air. Before we do that, we need to deselect the Mark 82, so we're going to tidy up the stores page. So if you use your weapon select switch, there you go, done.
Yep.
Let's go to air-to-air master mode now. What you're going to see on the right-hand screen is you're going to see your air-to-air radar that's now switched from the air-to-ground radar.
Yes.
It's now looking like it's sweeping left to right.
Yep.
So it's actually looking for something. I
Yep.
want us to climb up to 12,000 feet, please.
Straight out over the water now?
Straight out. Yeah, this heading's fine. The main thing is that I know that there's a refueling tanker out there, and I just want to be 100% certain
that we don't blow it up.
So for air-to-air, the stick philosophy is exactly the same. Your weapon selection is going to be the same switch.
Okay.
The only other thing that we have to think about is how are we going to lock onto a target using the air-to-air radar. It's incredibly straightforward. Okay, it's just a click. So I'll get you to level off.
Reading something here. I think I've just learned something.
What have you learned?
I think that there is level.
Correct.
That's no longer climbing.
Correct.
Right.
Yep. So if you line your little aircraft up with the horizon, with that little line that doesn't have any numbers next to it,
yep,
that's your horizon.
That's 0. Yeah. Gotcha.
Good stuff. Learn something new every day. Right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to spawn a drone out here in the distance shortly, but there's two more switches on the stick that I need you to be familiar with. The first one is the one, that one. No,
the one in the middle?
That's what you call your caster switch. It's your sensor select switch, okay? So it changes air-to-air radar modes when we're in air-to-air master mode. When we're out of air-to-air master mode, which we are in at the moment, then it will change which screen of interest or which sensor of interest you've selected. So right now, if you're looking at air-to-air radar screen, which is the right-hand one, you'll see a little diamond just up here.
Yes.
Okay. That means that that screen or this radar is our sensor of interest at the moment. That's what the jet is actively looking for from a targeting point of view. Okay. Anything that's on the radar and any movements we make with this with the castle switch are going to be related to the operation of the air-to-air radar. Okay. When we get the target identified on the radar, all you're going to do with that middle one is you'll move it to the right, and that's going to cycle to that target and lock onto it as a priority target.
Right.
Okay. What we're going to do, and sorry, before we do, to release the air-to-air weapons, it's the trigger and not the finger button. So the trigger is your next finger.
Yes.
It's that the one that you will be able to finger with your next finger at the moment.
Yep.
Let's use your weapon select switch to select the gun, and if you pull the trigger, it'll fire the cannon.
Ooh.
It's easy as, right?
Yeah.
Immediate.
Yeah.
One click and you're there. So you get 412 rounds in the gun. It equates to about 6 seconds or 5 seconds of fire. Okay, it's not very much at all. I love how you're holding exactly 12,000. That is incredible. Right?
Try.
It's not very often that I do get to see it. I don't know what that
Someone just shoot at us?
Maybe, I don't know. Sim thing. So let's flick to the sidewinder now. So you'll move the weapon select switch to the right again. You're going to hear that famous sidewinder growl. That's the receiver talking to the aircraft. Okay. What we look at on our stores page, we verify that there's a receive above the one on the left.
Yes.
That's going to be the first one that comes off the jet. Then it will automatically, just like the bomb, automatically switch to the right, and we can fire 2 off at once. Your symbology here in the heads-up display, the donut, big one to ball sight, little one is the seeker head. Once we lock onto the radar target, you're going to see there'll be a square there. That square is the aircraft,
Yes.
or the thing that we're locked onto.
Yep.
When you see the square and the circle overlapping each other, same as you do in the movies,
That
means that you have
the old Top Gun scene.
that old famous Top
The
Gun
Jag scene.
Yep. That's what you're going to see. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll get that drone out there small and keep an eye on your airway radar for me. So on the right hand screen, and you're going to see either a yellow brick or a white cross. There's your brick.
Yeah.
It's going to turn into a cross.
Yeah.
What you can do is now use a caster switch to the right, which is that.
Right.
Yep. There you go. Now have a look in your heads-up display. Now you've got all that symbology there.
Yep.
So let's pitch down to get these guys in the circle here. And what you're going to hear at about 11 miles, you're going to hear the tone is going to change, and you'll see shoot come up on top of the radar. And I want you to let me know when you see that.
On top of the radar.
Sorry, on top of your target inside the.
Is that shoot?
Yep, that says shoot.
Squeeze the trigger.
Squeeze the trigger twice. Now watch the missiles come off the rail. Watch them come off the jet. Go again. You'll see it moves. So then you know that it's tracking towards the target. How are you going to know that we've done what we needed to do?
Well, I'm going to look for an explosion, but I'll watch for the target to disappear.
Target won't disappear.
No?
You'll just see the explosion. Have a look at your radar screen now.
Oh, yeah,
You've
he's
actually
got
got
him.
multiple things on there because you've just created debris, so the radar's going to track multiple different things. But there's the meteor that you've just created.
Let's not fly into that, eh?
Nah.
So,
So just like the air to ground, employment of those air-to-air is pretty straightforward.
Yep.
At the end of the day, when you're doing it in an isolated environment, let's turn back towards the coast as well. When we're doing it in an isolated environment at one target, it's incredibly straightforward. Now you've got to think about, dozens of aircraft out there, friendlies and enemies.
Oh yeah.
You've got to think about your rules of engagement. Have you actually got the authority to engage? And at the end of the day, you're the one that decides whether that weapon comes off the jet or not. So you're making decisions, and realistically speaking, the actual deployment of that weapon is pretty much muscle memory.
Yeah.
You're not really thinking about how do I get this thing off the jet. You're thinking about do I pull the trigger?
Yeah.
I'm going to get you to pull back nice and hard right now. So pull back nice and far, almost full back stick, and just watch how fast the aircraft is going to start coming around the corner.
Oh yeah.
Really want to start ripping this thing around the corners at this point. Lovely. And we're just going to wait until we see it. Keep pulling, because we're going to track back towards the Gold Coast again, so you'll have to keep pulling it. Probably another 40-ish degrees of turn should do the job.
Cool.
Yeah.
Here's me mate on fire.
There's your mate, there's the meteor that you've just created. And yeah, we'll pretty much roll wings level there and start tracking towards the coast, and we'll clean everything up. So we need to deselect the sidewinder with the weapon select switch. Air to ground, correction, air to air, master mode comes off. Yep, and the air to air light. So the AA push button comes off as well. And everything's now safed up. So I can get rid of the stores page and just bring in the situational awareness page. It's just kind of where it will be. That's the drone dying, that little jerk there. So what I'll get you to do is move the throttle all the way back and then all the way forward. It's just a sim thing. Excellent, and then we'll continue carrying on our merry way at full help. Okay, next thing, have a look in map display.
Yep.
You can see this little icon here that's moving.
Yes.
So something that has an airborne beacon that's moving, pretty good indication that that might be another aircraft.
Yeah.
And if we have a look at this arrow pointing towards this TACAN,
Oh, that's where he's
it's
going.
actually lined up with our tanker. Pretty
Right.
good indication that that's who we want to go find. So let's
Okay.
go. And he's at.
Which way is he heading?
So we're gonna. Looks like he's flying towards us now, and he's gonna currently probably be in a left-hand turn. We'll be flying a racetrack pattern, pretty much parallel to the coast, and then down, and then around, and then down. So all we're gonna do is try and locate. And for your reference, he's at 16,000 feet. So if we
Okay,
go
so he's
to
up a
50
bit, yeah.
so he's up a bit. So if we go to 15, it's a lot easier to spot an aircraft against the sky than it is against the ground, so we'll come up from underneath.
Yep.
So keep scanning with your map to figure out where he is in relation to you. We'll always be able to correct. And he's actually probably we're going to get visual with him actually quite quickly. So this will actually work out pretty well, I think. Now, just because I've done this quite a bit, I'll be able to see it before you do. Just start pushing down on the stick to level off. go all the way to level because we're now at 16. Alrighty, he's only 11 miles away. So start bringing that power back out of afterburner, so about 2 to 3 inches back. And we're probably going to see him flying left to right. He's at our 12 o'clock at the moment. We're just looking for those pixels to appear, which generally happens at about 7 miles. So you've got a couple miles to go until we'll start to see him. And all I want to do, as soon as we're visual, you just need to do whatever you need to do with this aeroplane to follow it, okay? Now I'm trying to keep as visual as I possibly can. Start turning to the right. There he is, I've got him in sight. Boom.
Right, I see him.
Yep. All I want you to do at this point is just
get him
keep
behind
that thing in sight. Stay behind. Let's go full power as well, just so we can catch up, because we've got a few miles to gain.
Come above him, that one.
You're still underneath him because he's just above the horizon. Now the thing with this dude, he's going to be at approximately 16 and approximately 350 knots, but it's not going to be exactly that, okay? So everything is going to be completely visual. Now I've still just got his pixels, we are catching up, which is good.
I can see him.
Yep, still 4 miles away. If you keep flying straight from now, he's pretty much leveled out of his left-hand turn, so he'll fly straight for 15 miles and then he'll jump into another left-hand turn.
We're going to catch him in 15 miles?
Absolutely, we will. We've got a speed difference now of about somewhere on the likes of 200 knots, so 3 miles a minute, and we're less than 3 miles away, so we're going to be less than a minute.
Yeah.
So at this point, once you start seeing it get big, you're going to be dropping that power quite a lot.
Yep.
And your left hand is not going to stop moving. Okay, so you'll be constantly applying power changes, and you're going to apply some relatively large power changes just to make things happen. Because don't forget, with a jet engine, you don't get an immediate response from the throttle.
Yes.
There's a slight lag. So you just have to take that into account.
So I'm flying completely visual at the moment?
You are
That's
completely
what I'm
visual.
supposed to be doing?
Yep, that's what you're supposed to be doing, and just keep an eye on your speed as well. Start bringing the power back now as we get to within a mile, and we're going to drop, keep that speed dropping, but at the moment you're looking at the aeroplane and your airspeed. So we've got 100 knots closure. Start bringing the power back even more, like pretty much most of the way back, just to help us slow down. I have speed. Alright, start arresting that rate of descent a little bit, and we'll track pretty much towards the airport at this point. So we'll land on 01 right, which will take us not quite over the city, but close-ish. Good, and let's chop the power out. We're going to start slowing down to that 250 to get the gear out and start a relatively gentle right-hand turn, and we're going to line up pretty much towards the airport now. Brisbane Airport, just so you know, I'm sure you know where it is, but just to confirm, that's it out here.
That's it out there, yeah.
Raise the nose just a little bit for me, bring that nose up. You're going to constantly be probably needing a bit of back pressure to help. As you slow down, the aircraft wants to pitch down, so you're going to need to counteract. You'll be losing that lift. There you go, really good. Trust your instruments. Now let's roll wings level about there, and that's about a bit of an oblique base. Let's keep the aircraft level because we are just fractionally low at the moment.
I'm at idle too, by the way.
Yeah, good, because we are waiting for that speed to drop below 250. That'll help us get the gear out nice and early. So yeah, there's 250. So let's bring the landing gear out, so out and down, and add some power. And let's go for about 200 knots and start a gentle right-hand turn towards the runway. You should be able to be visual with the runway now. See that big strip of black stuff, and start lowering that nose. Good. Perfect. I like us being a little bit high. As we go down the hill, you're really going to have to pull that power back so that the speed doesn't get out of control. Yeah. And let's knock that flap switch one more time to grab the shift flap. Yep, good. Alright, now, we're all configured. All we've got to worry about is direction now.
Yeah. So what do we need? How many knots?
Let's go for between 180 and 200 for now.
Okay, so
And let's try and keep the nose between the horizon and the 5 degrees. So raise that nose just a little bit because we are going to descend quite quickly. This thing will drop like a brick. As you bring the nose up, you're going to need quite a bit of power to maintain that speed. Good. Alright, this is something that we can work with now. I would say nose up about half a degree or two, just to keep us, yeah, there we go. Okay, 174, I'm happy with that speed at the moment. And now we're just going to be waiting to intercept that center line. So we're going to keep driving towards that runway and keeping everything nice and still in the window. If that runway doesn't move, then we're all good. Just drop that nose fractionally. We're making half degree to a degree changes at this point. Keeping it nice and stable. This all looks fantastic.
Knots.
Yeah. A little bit of nose down for me. Probably about 400 feet too high at the moment. I can see my house. Actually not me. Okay, there's our middle marker, so that's the 3 mile mark.
Uh-huh.
Got Royal Queensland Golf Club down there. And we're going to keep driving towards that runway. There's a gateway bridge as well. Should add a touch of power and bring the nose up just slightly, so we'll lower that rate of descent. Okay, gear down, flux forward, landing much on, everything's all safe. Need to land, just keep driving towards that runway. Alright, I'll get you to drop that power just a little bit, just to keep descending towards the runway. We can always catch it, we've got way more time than you think. And as the ground comes closer, just try and resist the urge to flare. You're just going to drive it into the ground, because this thing will float for 15 years.
It is a strong urge to flare, I can tell you.
We're still at 400, 500 feet, so we've still got a long way to go before we're even in flare territory.
Yeah.
Just add a fraction of power for me. That'll just help slow the rate of descent down, and you'll just, yeah, there you go. Hold the nose. You might need a fraction of forward pressure. Hold, keep driving down towards that runway. You've still got 100 feet to go. Keep driving.
Power out?
Yeah, chop the power all the way off. Yeah, and bang, we're down. Full backstick to help with aerodynamic braking. And we'll come to a stop on the runway.
No brakes.
The brakes in this thing are absolutely terrible. And stopped. Are we? Yep, stopped.
Ta-da!
Well done.
Thank you, mate.
Good stuff. That was awesome.
Didn't crash once.
No.